That's how we got framed. They already knew who they wanted.
Omar Muhammad, formerly Omar Saunders, was only 19 when he heard a prison door slam shut behind him. In 1988, he and 3 other teens, known collectively as the Roscetti Four, were sentenced to life behind bars for the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Chicago medical student Lori Roscetti.
They needed people who fit the profile, and they fabricated the case. They made up the whole confessional.
Muhammad's conviction hung largely on false confessions by 2 of his co-defendants, Marcellus Bradford and Calvin Allens.
When they say false confessions, these kids never made a confession at all. They wrote it up and had them sign it.
Omar was exonerated after DNA evidence proved he, Bradford, Allens, and Larry Allens did not commit the crime. The 2 men who killed Lori Roscetti were arrested in 2002.
But long story short, we were young and we were marginal. We were kids that were getting in trouble. We were burglarizing and stuff like that. That's what I did when I was younger. And 17 years old, regret that stuff.
Instead of coming out of prison bitter, Muhammad wrote a book about the Roscetti case in 2019. He spends his free time these days teaching free classes on government and civics, something he dove deep into when he was locked up.
I teach them civics about the Constitution and all that stuff so they can understand that.
Muhammad says the goal of teaching classes here at this Rockford building that he owns is to provide residents with tools to get involved in the civic process.
But I was fortunate when I was in prison to run into these minds, and it changed my whole perspective. So I learned that I'm in one of the greatest countries on earth, and I die for this.
Muhammad's classes are primarily aimed at the African American community. He says marginalized African American youth especially need to hear his message.
There's obligations, duties, and responsibilities that we all have. The first obligation and duty that you have in the Republic is to yourself.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Jim Haggerty.